I love how much you like Care Bear.
I love the Care Bears. Aren't they so cute?
Were you a Care Bear girly?
So it was actually mostly my sister, and I loved anything she loved. So we're 10 years apart. So
love that.
She really liked the grumpy one, the blue one. And so I really love the grumpy blue one. But I also love the pink rainbow one. I know they have names, but I don't know their biological names.
Yeah.
So.
Biological names. They're God-given names. Yeah, I don't know either.
I meant to say government names. But you know what? That works too, I guess. Okay. So
what are we doing?
Today we're going to do something fun.
Okay.
And stressful.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about all of our 5-star reads. I think I stopped until the end of 2023. Oh, but I didn't do all of the Housemaid series. Like there was whatever.
So many of them. So you looked back at all of our tier lists. Were there some books you forgot about?
Yes, there were.
Oh my God. I'm nervous.
I forgot how much I loved the book. And to be honest, on this episode, we're not doing any spoilers. We're just going to give a very basic summary of what the book is about.
Yeah.
So this is a safe zone, but it's going to be really hard for us to pick between all of our wins. Oh.
I think the way I'm going to think about this, because I care about books in an emotional level where I feel like I will cry. But I think I'm going to think about this more in the sense of, would I recommend this to a friend who wants to get into reading?
But I feel like we would recommend all of these. So we need to think about it more so of like, how impactful would this be? Like, how more impactful is one over the other?
Okay, got it.
Okay, so Cheli.
Yes.
Do you think pitting two queens against each other are 2 5-star reads? Well, actually, there's more than 2. There's like 20-something in here.
Oh.
Do you think that can fix your life?
I do.
Good. So welcome to an episode of the Book Fix podcast, a podcast where we fix lives 1 5-star at a time. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli. I am so excited to do this. So how should we do it? You pick one and I pick one?
Yes. So ready?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put the cover on the screen so they can visualize it.
What's our first?
Okay, so our first 5-star read is We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kleiwer. This was one of our spooky reads.
Yes.
Our first spooky read, I think, for last year.
Yes, it was. It was the one where a couple, it's the 2 girls, move into a house. And it's because they're really into like re-upping houses. Yeah. So it's not in great condition, but it's a nice house. And they randomly get a visit from a family who's like, hey, we used to live here.
And we drove from really far away. Do you mind if I just come in and show my children the house?
And it gets spooky real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised you put that one in there.
I was obsessed with this one.
I liked it too. I just don't remember how, like, now that I'm thinking about it, it was really spooky.
It was. And there were certain things where it was, like, very unsettling, you know? Like, things you don't know what's happening.
And, like, my biggest thing with spooky books is I don't like it when someone that's human does something that doesn't feel human.
And that definitely happened.
Yes. So it really gets to me. And I do, that was a really solid horror read. So if you want to read a horror book, We Used to Live Here.
It's a really, really good one. And it's their debut novel too. So.
Oh man. I wonder if they've written anything else since.
I don't know. We'll have to look later.
During our horror reads, which I'm looking forward to. I'm 1,000% looking forward.
So excited.
It's funny because I'm telling myself, now looking back at our horror episodes, you can see it in my face where I'm like, ugh.
You're like, another spooky book.
October is literally the worst month for teachers.
I get you, girl.
I'm gonna.
No one is judging you here.
I'm gonna come strong. I'm in it.
Yeah, so join us September, October. That's our spooky months.
So solid book. That is going against Angels Before Man by Rafael Nicolas. So how do you describe a summer's day? How do you talk about perfection? How do you talk about the most beautiful thing, the most beautiful accident that has ever come before your feet?
You know, some would say I'm a beautiful accident.
I like the pause. I don't know how you want me to react. You are.
I'm ruining your vibe.
No, you're beautiful the way you are.
Thank you.
Okay. I knew this was in there. I knew it.
You knew it?
I didn't think it was going to be the first one I pick out because now I'm going to have to fight for my life with this one. So Angels Before Man.
There's a lot of good ones in here.
Angels Before Man by Rafael Nicolas is a queer retelling of Lucifer's falling to earth after his little spat with God. Go read the Bible, I guess. No, it's a retelling of John Milton's story. And it's really well done. One thing I really appreciate in books is when authors like portray the sanity of the character through the writing style.
Yes, I agree.
And I think Rafael Nicolas does an excellent job. I love this man so much. I feel like I talk about him all the time.
Yeah, more than you talk about me, so.
That's not true. So I think that this is such a good story. I will say one negative.
Go ahead.
It's not something I would recommend to someone who's barely getting into reading again.
No. It's very dense. But I feel like Rafael Nicolas did a really good job with, he has very like poetic writing. Like it's so beautiful. There's so many lines that I just really loved in the story. So I think that if you're looking for a spooky read, We Used to Live Here is a great one. But if you're looking for an existential crisis, Angels Before Men is a really good one.
Just like hand modeling it.
Like, like a swatch.
I think Angels Before Men has to win this, though.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think that it is more impactful.
Okay, I was going to put it to the side.
I'll put it right here.
Okay, so tell me how this works. Do you now have to pick one and it has to continue to go
I think we should put it back in, no?
Okay, oh, thank God. Okay, please get it out of my sight.
If it's the next one.
Because I thought I had to fight for my life right now.
Only because I feel like that would be really hard to like just
fight one each time.
Yeah.
If I get it again, I'm going to be real sad.
Okay. Next is going to be Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This one is the one that starts off with a "Am I the asshole?" post, right?
Is it that one?
Yeah. It's in two perspectives. It's in the guy's perspective and it's in the girl's perspective. And I think she's like a nurse.
Oh, it is. She's a traveling nurse.
Yes, traveling nurse.
And he made a post.
He made a "Am I the asshole?" post. It's something about a dog. Naming the dog after your friend?
Yeah. And I don't know how it comes to be, but both of them figure out that they're always the person that someone dates in which when they break up, that person finds the love of their life.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, what if we go on a date and then that just balances it? Like, what we're going to find the love of our lives after that. Or, maybe it'll just go away.
It's like breaking the curse.
And so they both agree to meet and go on this date. And there's just like immediate chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Abby Jimenez, I feel like her writing, it's really solid. Mm-hmm. But I always feel like I want more out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like Abby Jimenez does a really good job at balancing romance and like real life stuff that happens because the main characters are going through a lot in their lives where it's like, oh, the romance is just like an added, it's like an added bonus to it.
But it's kind of nice though, because as the romance is building, the more important thing out of their romance is the trust within each other. And I just love it. Mm-hmm. Okay, that is going against Funny Story by Emily Henry.
Wow.
I love this one. Yeah. So this is the one where, very similar. So two characters.
It is similar. Oh my God.
Two characters are going to get married, but their fiancés leave them for each other. Mm. So they end up together.
Well,
and then
the guy, Miles, I think it was Miles, he was not engaged to her. They were just together. They were just a long-term relationship. Yes. Yeah, because I remember she never wanted to get married.
Yes, which made this worse. And it made it worse for the girl too because her fiance, he promised like, no, she's just a girl best friend.
Yeah, so they were best friends.
So then these two run off, and now these two are like, oh, want to live together? Because, I mean, I have this apartment for...
Yeah, I need a roommate.
Yeah, so it is very slow. It's gradual in the way it builds. But Emily Henry, she just has a way at, like, gripping me.
Yeah.
And it's so, like, I think her building character and just the trust within the characters as well. And I liked seeing... her stories are always not like happily ever after. It's like, no, and I got where I needed to be, but now you're here with me too.
Yeah. Which is interesting because I feel like Abby Jimenez and Emily Henry are pretty similar in that aspect where it's like you're not just given just a romance. It's like they're building their characters.
Either of these I would recommend to someone.
I think just for the summer, I would recommend well, I would also say tread lightly because there's also heavy topics with the one of the parents. I think it's the mom.
Yes.
So tread lightly. But I do really like Just for the Summer. And what I loved about it was that, I don't want to spoil it, but I feel like the way that it ended, I was satisfied with.
But it's funny because similar, there's a parent in this one. I don't feel like it's as heavy as
Just for the
Abby
Summer.
Jimenez, but I do feel like it was very well executed, and it just goes to show like when your partner goes the extra mile to support you. I thought this one did it so well.
This is gonna be hard because I also really like the guy. I wish I remembered everyone's name. I should have written their names. But I also really liked that the guy took care of the traveling nurse. Do you remember when he had to figure out how to get to her place? Because she was living in like
he swam to her house.
Yeah, he swam to her and like gave her soup and like took care of her.
But don't you remember in Funny Story when the guy really wanted the dad to come through?
Oh, yeah, because the dad was, like, absent, huh?
Yeah.
Her dad was absent.
So he was, even though there was, like a little hiccup in their relationship, he was like, I'm still gonna, I promised you I would be here, so I'm gonna be here.
Okay. So
that being said,
I would pick Emily Henry only because I think this is my favorite story of hers.
Same.
All bangers, but I think this one was her best one.
It really was. That's a hard decision, though, because Abby Jimenez, her stories... they like punch you.
Right in the gut. All right.
She's back in there. Funny Story's back in there.
You know what? Maybe we should have put him off to the side.
It's fine.
We'll do that later. But
no, I kind of like the idea of them competing with others. Because you never know if there's two that would outwin each other.
You're right. Okay. Immortal Dark by Tigist Gurma.
Oh, this is such a good story.
This one is dealing with... It's like
vampires.
It's like vampires. It's fantasy, but I think it's like urban fantasy because it's like a real life kind of situation. Because the main character, Kidan, Kidan is such a like ruthless character. Honestly, like I think that she would probably be like a polarizing main character because she's very impulsive. But she is so hell-bent on finding her sister who's been kidnapped. And at the beginning of the story, she's like, I think she's like torturing someone. So tread lightly also with this one. But then she figures out a vampire's name. And so she's like, this man has something to do with my sister's disappearance. And so he's like at a academy. Suseños. So she has to go to this academy as well to try to figure things out.
The slowest slow burn imaginable.
Most enemies to lovers that there has ever existed.
But I loved it because it was enemies to acquaintances to, okay, I can trust you too, you're my friend. Yeah. And it built. And even now, like, it's a rocky situation, but I agree with why it's rocky.
Yeah, same. So
it's a good story.
I do love a good slow burn. So
I am so excited to read the second book too.
Me too.
I'm so excited. That being said, Beneath These Cursed Stars by Lexi Ryan. So
how do we summarize art?
Perfection. So Lexi Ryan is known for her These Hollow Vows duology, in which it's just a sister who wanted to save her sister from a dark king.
Oh my god, another sister.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how this works. But Beneath These Cursed Stars follows the sister Jaslyn's story, in which she is not satisfied with how kind of things ended up. And she hears an inkling that the person that kidnapped her, who is supposed to be gone, is somehow back.
Yeah.
So she meets up with these people. I think the guy's name is Kendrick, who has this plan because there was like a prophecy. In order to get rid of this evil dude forever, they need to complete the prophecy. And she is down to help. And because of that, someone has to be her stand-in, whose name is Felicity, as the princess, whose sister, Abriella, is trying to get Jaslyn to marry Misha. So she's like having to pretend to be courted by Misha.
Yeah.
And she's kind of down.
She's like, Felicity is the one who's falling in love with Misha, and Misha's falling in love with Felicity. So it's kind of like, oh.
It's so, but it's not her face.
It's not her face, yeah.
The tension? Crazy. If you like it when the tension is so strong that you're screaming into the void, this is your...
Lexi Ryan is so good at writing like kiss scenes, like
my god,
romance
like first
scenes.
Kisses.
Yeah, amazing.
I just want to thank everyone.
I just want to thank the Academy again.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say about these two books.
Okay, go ahead.
Immortal Dark was hard for me to get into.
Yes,
it is very dense,
and it's very long.
Yes. So you really have to wait for the payoff. And you have to be willing to be patient with all of this lore being thrown at you because it does pay off. You do get the world enough to why it matters so much.
And I feel like a lot of people's issue with Immortal Dark is that it's like so long that people get bored before they actually get to.
And which I can't argue with that. Like, I get it.
I get it too. It is very long.
But that being said, Beneath These Cursed Stars, even though I gave this a 5 out of 5, half of this story did not matter to me.
Yeah. So following Jaslyn's side of the story was kind of difficult for me too.
And I don't know if it was because the idea of it now, thinking back to the idea of Jaslyn having to travel with someone and her having this power where she can manipulate people, but for some reason not manipulate him. Like, that's an interesting thing, but it's not well executed because you care so much more about Misha and Felicity.
Yeah, I agree. And then also the love interest for Jaslyn, I didn't love him because they met when she was really young.
Yeah.
And that feels gross.
Oh my gosh, this is hard.
It's hard.
I'm gonna say, only because of that last point you brought up, Immortal Dark feels a little stronger.
I would agree too. But Lexi Ryan writes really good books. Okay, trust.
Yeah, we all mess up sometimes. It's okay. Oh, me? Never.
Not me, though. I'm perfect. Okay. Next up.
Oh, this one feels similar. It feels like I folded it.
Oh my god, Immortal Dark.
Immortal Dark again versus One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. So, One Dark Window is the first story in a duology in which our main character, Elsbeth, she's born in this world where people can be born with powers, but they're not seen as like a good quality. So there are
it's not born, it's the mist.
Oh yeah, the mist can
you get sick.
Give you a fever, which is like after that you're basically done. And so when the mist comes around, there are like army workers that will take you because of it. She does get infected by the mist, she does get infected by the mist, but she ends up hiding this fact until she meets Prince Raven. Is he a prince?
I don't think he's a prince.
He's like an enforcer type guy.
Yeah.
But until she meets Raven Yu, who is related to the kings.
Yeah.
And he figures out that she has this power that can help him get what he wants, which is help his brother who is infected.
Yeah.
Because in this world, when you have this infection and this power, you also go through something called degeneration.
Yeah.
So you don't know when it's going to get to you because they also have like this cool concept of like
the magic is through cards.
The magic is through cards, and anytime you use magic, there's always a cost. And I love it so much. This did kind of take me a bit to get into, but comparing the two, I think One Dark Window is a lot stronger.
Yeah, I would agree.
I love Rachel
But Immortal
Delic.
Dark is really good too.
I'm really excited to read her new book.
Yes.
Yes, the Moth one.
The Night and the Moth. Can't wait.
Love it.
Trying to get a different one, please.
I'm trying to feel. I'm like this. I didn't fold this one.
Funny Story by Emily Henry.
The Housemaid by Frida McFadden.
Very different stories, but
so the housemaid follows Millie. She recently got out of being incarcerated, and she just wants to look for a job. And it's you don't know much at first, but you do know that whatever she did that got her in prison was more out of like defense, like self-defense.
Yeah.
So she works at this home in which it seems like the wife is just against her. And that the husband is on her side, and she kind of thinks the husband is cute. So
maybe he's a little cute.
She feels like the wife is really bad news and wants to help the husband get out of this horrible situation. But then things take a turn because Frida McFadden, she writes plot twist after plot twist. Comparing Funny Story and The Housemaid is so weird.
It is weird because I would go into them for very different reasons.
Yes. So thinking about if you wanted to get a friend into reading a book,
I would say The Housemaid.
You would say The Housemaid? That hurts me a little bit.
Well, I feel like...
I think I would say The Housemaid too, because I think jumping into romance, if you're not a reader that has spice...
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a little daunting sometimes. The Housemaid, though, it's so easy to read. And it's
such a quick read, too. Because Frida McFadden writes... It's not an insult, but very, like, simply.
Yes. But also, it feels like a show, So you will be in it the whole time.
That being said, though, Funny Story is really good.
Funny Story is really good. I'm sad to see it go. I don't want to get the same ones. That one's mine. I know it. Okay, go ahead.
Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross.
Come back to us crying about this book.
This was like our whole personality for a second. Dude, this episode, we were like crying so many times.
Yeah.
Divine Rivals, how do I explain this? This is basically a world where there are gods, but the focus is more so on two mortals.
Yeah.
Who fall in love. And they're working at like a newspaper place, if I remember correctly. And his name is Kit, I think. Roman Kit?
Yes.
He has money. Her name is Iris. She doesn't come from money.
Iris Winnow.
And basically, it's like an enemies to lovers because they're fighting for a position in this newspaper place. But it turns into so much more. I don't want to give too much spoilers, but it's so good.
So good. There's like a mystical element to their romance, and I'm so happy with that book.
Oh, yes.
So far, whatever this is, that should be the winner.
I know. I'm just like, this is too good. This is such a beautiful romance.
That being said, Monstri Leo by Gerardo Samano Cordova. Oh my gosh.
That's really good too.
This, during spooky season, was such a good read. We were trying really hard because it's hard sometimes when you're looking through well-known books or suggested books because it feels like they don't promote like Latin authors. So you and I were trying really hard to branch out and diversify like the types of books we were reading.
Yeah.
And I loved that we read this one.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
So it starts off with like a wife whose son passes away. And after he passes away, because he had like a lung disease, she takes a part of him, a part of his lung, and keeps it in a jar in order to feed it. And it's kind of like a traditional thing. I've never heard of it, but it's like a cultural thing. So she's like feeding it food, and it's slowly getting bigger. And it
like grows into something.
It becomes something that they affectionately call Monstri Leo. It's not human, but it, becomes kind of like a piece of her that she does not want to get rid of. But then there's like the whole aspect of like, is this my son or is this just a monster that came from my son? So it's It's not spooky, but it's so sad.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's like its own genre, huh? Where it's just like spooky sad.
Dang,
Sad,
I thought I was gonna choose Divine Rivals, and I'm still kind of leaning towards Divine Rivals. I loved Monstrilio.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a good book.
It is a really good book.
I'm a fan of the ending too.
Yeah, same. But I feel like I'm leaning more towards Divine Rivals because this is...
Okay, say less quick.
This is such a good book. They're both really good. These are all our 5 stars. Come on. We're going to love all of these.
This is such a good book. And movie deal.
Oh, yes. I forgot I sent you that. So you do listen to me sometimes.
You make it sound like I never answer. And although that may be true, I wish you would stop saying.
You don't answer me.
I'm sorry, I don't text.
Okay, next up is going to be Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, which is the
continuation.
The continuation of One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. So this one, I don't want to give spoilers though. So all I'll say is that it just follows Raven trying to break the curse.
Yeah.
That the cards gave to this world. And it also follows Elm and Ione, who is also like a love story amongst themselves, which was so beautiful, so unexpected.
So well done.
Ione is Elsbeth's cousin.
It's funny because when you read a second book in a series or any other part in the series, and the author takes the choice to like not make the main characters for a bit,
it's kind of a risk.
It's a risk. So I thought it was very well done.
Yeah, I agree.
Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. So this is part of the Wicked Games series.
Mm-hmm, the first one.
The first one of the Wicked Games series, in which are girls named... I know it. I know it. Give me the first letter.
Oh,
Ophelia.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom passes at the very beginning of the book, and the necromancy powers that her mom had are passed down to her.
Yeah, because she accepts it.
And she has this big responsibility of having to now take over the necromancy business, but also make ends meet so her and her sister can be safe. Mm-hmm. But her sister runs away to this game called Phantasma, in which you can win a lot of money. But it is a very, very not many people win this. Like many people die.
You get like a wish granted, don't you?
Yeah.
Like it could be anything.
So,
but they are broke. So
our main character Ophelia does join Phantasma, not knowing that maybe ghosts can love too.
Maybe there's a sexy ghost.
Maybe there's a sexy ghost that has this power that when he snaps, you're naked.
Dude,
that's crazy.
Such a good power.
That's crazy. Okay, this is hard.
Not that hard.
You're already folding it up.
No, I'm just kidding. I think Phantasma.
Yeah.
Phantasma was so exciting. So beautiful. The spice, so spicy. So 10 out of 10. Spice was there.
Spice was amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love this
and
book
I
so
love
much.
Blackwell. That's the love interest's name.
But don't give up too easily. What book was it?
You just read it.
No, I just think Ione is such a good character. And her, like, having to deal with, like... Because our character Ione loses her emotions. Mm-hmm. And, like, the intenseness of, like... You've already put it down! of not being able to, like, love, but knowing you're in love. Whatever.
You're like, I'm not going to argue this no more. Phantasma was so good. That was my book of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Last year.
It was.
I will fight tooth and nail for that book.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, this feels like I folded it. I know it.
Episode 13 by Craig D. Louis. Oh my god, this one was about the show. It was a show, right?
It was a ghost adventure show.
Like Mindhunters?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And there was like a whole cast. But they had to be like on because it was like a show. So some of them were not exactly representing who they actually were. And well, at least one of them was an actress.
Yeah. that being said, their show is not doing well, and they're told that they will not get a second season unless episode 13 does really well.
Yes, it has to like pop off. So they go to a house and they discover some really creepy things. It was so good.
It was so good.
And trust me, if you're going to read this, you need to listen to it. The audiobook is an experience.
Who was it that listened to it first?
Me, because I was like...
Because you told me to listen to it.
I was like, you need to get the audiobook. It is so good.
I would reread that book. It's so well done. We need to read more Craig D. Louis.
We should.
That I will recommend. I recommend that to anyone I meet asking for horror. So,
really good.
That being said...
Stop!
A Serpent in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. You don't know...
Also vampires.
You can't escape vampires.
Yeah.
Something about them is sexy. Something about them is sexy. You know what's funny? There had to be one author, I don't know who did it first, who was like, okay, we get it. Vampires are sexy. Them drinking blood, hot. How do we make them sexier? What if it excites you when he does that?
Oh, yeah.
Who was the one who did that?
I don't know.
And they were in not the break room. They're in like the office and they're like, get her a raise.
Get it.
So
monetize on that.
Serpent in the Wings of Night follows our main character, Araya, who is a human, but lives under the care of King Vincent. He is the king of, I think they're called the
Kajari was the
other one.
The other side.
It's not Rishon. Were they the...
Oh, I don't remember anymore.
Well, yeah, whatever. There's like different types of vampires, but he's a very well-known king. She wants to make it... Well, he kind of pushes her into it. Join the Nyaxia trials, because if you win these trials, you're given one wish from the goddess Nyaxia. And her wish is to always be by Vincent's side and be stronger than vampires so she can actually survive this world. Whatever. She goes into the trials and she doesn't expect to find love. And my God, the plot...
In the most hopeless place.
I know. The plot... Did you already put the other one away? The plot is so good. I love Serpent in the Wings of Night. I'm so excited for the new book to come out. Carissa Broadbent is going to be near us soon.
Oh my gosh.
Are we going?
We're going.
Okay.
The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden follows two different perspectives. One is Tom's, which is in the past, and Sydney, which is in the present. So Sydney is dating. She's on dating sites. And she goes on these dates, and her friend is also going on dates, but she says that it's getting serious now with this doctor. But then her friend gets murdered, which it's obvious that they think it's
Tom,
the doctor, right? So Tom is the doctor, but in the past we're following his life and how he actually had a girlfriend who went missing.
So it's interesting because as these two stories are catching up on the timeline, it's just like the anticipation of waiting, like what led to this point.
Yeah. So it was very exciting.
Yeah.
And Frida McFadden, just know she's known for her twists. Very twisty.
Okay, so the next book is Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent.
Ooh.
Go ahead and put that one away. So
this one's so good though.
It is, but our character Misha, because this is a continuation of the Nyaxia series. Misha is Rain's best friend. He's the love interest from book 1. And this is following her after being imprisoned because she, in one of the books, does something really bad, does a crime, and is being punished for it. And one of the punishments is that she needs to go to like the underworld to go get something.
Yeah.
And she goes with, is his name Aaron? I think it is. Spicy. It's such a good book.
Spicy and juicy. I recommend.
The next one's coming out very soon.
One Dark Window.
Again?
By Rachel Gillig.
One Dark Window versus...
Two Twisted Crowns. Oh, we didn't pick that one. Just kidding.
Divine Rivals.
Divine Rivals.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Wow. You know, this just goes to show.
Roman Kit is top book boyfriend.
Yes. And I just want to say, this is YA, like, done right.
This is also YA.
Oh,
done right.
They're both done right. This is just so good, though.
But don't get it twisted. One Dark Window is really, really good, too.
You know, without spoiling it, there's this one part where both characters are running towards each other, and it's so sweet, but it's also really funny.
In Divine Rivals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're running towards each other.
That was so beautiful.
I like that scene in Madagascar. Okay.
Yes.
What book is it?
Divine Rivals.
Okay, so Divine Rivals again versus Angels and Man by Rafael Nicolas. Remember Angels before Man? Okay, think about that. So this is a continuation of the queer retelling of Lucifer's falling. And in this continuation, we now follow an angel, Azazel, who stayed in heaven, did not go with Lucifer, but did commit a sin. So because of that, there's like this weird separation that the angels have created in heaven. He does not feel like he belongs. So he rooms with this person, this angel, whose name is Samyaza. I'm going to call him Sammy for short. And Sammy keeps pleading to God, like, I feel like you're mad at us for what happened. I want to prove to you that we're loyal. So why don't I just go down to earth and make all the humans religious again?
Yeah.
And so then God is like, okay, but you need to take every type of angel. Not just like the ones that did not sin, but the ones who sinned as well. Why? Because I'm God.
And I said so.
And so Azazel, Sammy, and like multiple other angels go down, not expecting to see what Earth has to offer. Lucifer's in this too. Lucy's in it.
Yeah.
I
know.
I love this one so much.
I know.
I will say, I love this. I don't know.
You're like, don't look at me.
Thinking about what I would recommend to a friend, I don't think I would recommend this to someone who's not a reader.
Dude, remember I hid that book?
Oh, yeah.
You let me borrow the physical copy, and I was with a family member, and I was like hiding it because I was like, I don't want them to ask me any questions.
Divine Rivals is just so good. Okay. I feel like everyone out there should read Divine Rivals.
It's too good.
I bought Rebecca Ross's new book.
Which one?
I forget what it's called. When I read it, I'll pass it to you.
Please do. Phantasma by Kaylee Smith.
Good book. Against Angels Before Man by Rafael Nicolas.
Oh, gee, I wonder who's going to win.
You did this on purpose. You could have just not put the books in because you know I'm going to choose this till I die.
But then you would get mad at me if I didn't put them in.
No, I would never be mad at you.
Yes, you would.
Wait, okay.
So, Phantasma by Kaylee Smith.
We already talked about it.
Also demons. I mean, I'm just saying there's devils in it. Oh, very interesting. There's devils in here.
I will say, looking at both of them,
what
are you going to recommend?
In an unbiased way.
In an unbiased way. If someone we knew who's kind of into reading, but not really, was like, what book should I read next?
I don't think I would recommend Angels Before Man. It's really, really good, but I feel like I would recommend it if you're already a reader. Because it is so heavy.
I'm going to keep this paper. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to put it in my iPad.
Do you agree?
I do agree. I do think that you also have to read it with like an open mind.
Yes.
That, like the person who wrote this has a lot of like religious trauma.
Yeah.
So it does deal with incredibly heavy topics.
Mm-hmm.
Throw her in there.
And then I feel like, what if they get mad at me? Because it's like, why are you reading this?
I get it. I get it. I still love Angels though. I'll always support Rafael Nicolas.
Slewfoot by Brahm.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
It took you so long to get into this book. This book is in the past. Yeah. You know, when women, weren't allowed to speak and
felt
such.
Very Puritan.
Yes.
Culture.
So the main character in this book, I forgot her name.
It doesn't matter.
So the main character in this book has a husband who has like a farm, I guess. And he unfortunately passes. and she wants to take care of the crops, but her husband's brother wants to take over the farm now. But she's like, no, I need to stand my ground and take over. But he's trying to make her seem like she's dabbling in dark magic.
Yeah.
But like the devil is also involved. So
very, very good book.
Very, very good.
I love this book. I do want to say the husband that dies at the beginning, incredible man.
He was so sweet.
He was really sweet.
But
and
also,
it took him a while to...
He lacked a backbone.
Yeah, but he was developing it.
Yeah.
And I think he was developing it as he was allowing himself to fall in love with his wife.
Mm-hmm. So sad. Oh my God. Sad. But it's really good. If you want just feminine rage, I recommend Slewfoot.
Definitely. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell.
Oh, that is such a good one.
Which one is this one again?
The Birthday Twins.
Oh my gosh. This one's crazy.
This one's so crazy.
So we have two main characters. One who has a podcast in which she always like uplifts women that got out of very horrible situations.
But it's already like them being successful.
Yes. And another character who she feels like she's about to reach her success story. They both meet on their birthday because they're birthday twins. And automatically our character like gets very obsessive over this podcaster. And it's just crazy. I feel like I do like this book. Apparently there's more lore we didn't know about.
Oh, I know. And I've been meaning for us
to talk about it.
To get into it, but I kind of like how it ended though.
Because
it felt so like, wait, what?
And you know what?
How am I supposed to take this?
I think like if an author made an open ending, don't wait years to finally tell me.
I know.
I've already made peace with what I think.
But I think it is kind of a smart strategy though, because then you're reigniting people's like. Because you would want to reread it, wouldn't you?
Of course I would. That being said, though, between the two, Slewfoot and None of This Is True.
Both bangers. I mean, very different.
Very different. But if I were to recommend a book, I would probably recommend None of This Is True.
Yeah.
This is a conversation starter.
Yeah, definitely. And then also I want to say that the audiobook was also really good. Really good.
I love how audiobooks are becoming
like little movies. I love it. Oh my God, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross.
She's fighting for her life right now.
Oh my God.
Divine Rivals versus Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent.
Oh, we've talked about both of them already.
We have. I will say Divine Rivals, this is kind of an unfair like thing to bring up. This is a continuation of a story, and Divine Rivals, even though it's a continuation, like Ruthless Vows is the second one. I feel like this as a standalone.
That's what we brought up during our tier list. That
strong.
Because we know the ending, we're satisfied. We're so satisfied with this book.
Yes, because it didn't end great for the characters, but I like that it ended like that. But then the ending of this book is also really good. I don't know. Divine Rivals has something on me.
I think Divine Rivals. I'm so sorry, Carissa Broadbent. It's such a good book.
Carissa Broadbent. I'm trying to buy all of the Nyaxia series in Spanish. Let me tell you, I only have the first one.
Please let me borrow the Nyaxia in Spanish.
Okay. Oh my God, we do. I think we have to do an episode in Spanish.
And then I have to give him to my mom. Not give him, let her borrow it.
Oh my God.
I'll read it to her.
Okay, wait, no. That's kind of slight.
Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent.
And Six Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent.
Whoa, two really good. So this is the first one and this is the 1.5.
1.5 follows our boy Vincent. Vale.
Vale. Yes.
Fireball. Oh my God. I have such fond memories of both of these, but this
dude, and this book starts off so freaking strong because I forgot her name. But Lilith, she has had so many close encounters with death. And I just love the way that it kind of like showcases that.
And can I say, as a 1.5, in which you don't include the characters in one. Because you and I were thinking of skipping.
We were going to skip
Remember? It's such a good standalone.
Yeah.
You don't need anything else. And Vale loves his wife.
Loves his wife.
Loves his wife.
So I guess we're picking that one.
Yeah. I love Serpent, but something about Six Scorched Roses.
It's just so good.
It's Six Scorched Roses again. I know it.
We Need to Do Something by Max Booth III. This one was the one that messed you up. It was about the tornado warning, and then the family has to barricade in the bathroom.
Oh, this one's scary. We read this during spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're barricaded in this bathroom, because of the tornado that passes, they get trapped in there.
They get trapped because something falls on the door, so they can't get out. I would recommend this, but I think this one was very creepy.
It's very creepy. I love the ending. I like the idea of not knowing what's outside and only trusting based on like what you know.
The little noises.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Versus Sunrise on the Reaping. Hey, bitch!
We know what's winning. Sunrise on the Reaping by
Suzanne Collins, the author of Art.
The Hunger Games.
This is just Hamish's story.
Everyone knows the Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the Hunger Games. Someone in the comments is like, I like this episode, but the fact that they didn't talk about the Hunger Games,
It's kind of crazy.
It's good. Go read it.
Phantasma by Kaylee Smith.
Versus Six Scorched Roses. Okay, good. Scorched Roses.
I love Phantasma, but
this is good.
Six Scorched Roses
Solid.
is so good. And
also, Carissa writes very beautifully.
Yeah.
I'm like in love with her writing.
Kaylee Smith does too. Don't cover her.
Okay, but Carissa, I got you. Oh my god. I'm sad Angels Before Man isn't in here. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm sorry, but like our criteria was how likely are we to recommend. So next is going to be Hidden Pictures by Jason Ricula.
Oh, can I tell you something? You actually physically read this and liked it more than I did. Mm-hmm. But I actually recommended this to the book club that I attend.
You did?
Our spooky season. Yeah, because I do want to read it physically.
Yeah.
I think I would have a different reaction to it.
You would, because this one was really, really good. It basically had to do with our main character who was a recovering addict, I believe. Mm-hmm. And she was trying to turn her life around, and she was getting a position to be a nanny. But then this child starts drawing really, really creepy images. And I would recommend you physically reading the book or getting the ebook because it has the drawings.
Mine is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes
by Suzanne Collins,
which is the Hunger Games
prequel? No,
yeah, prequel following
Snow
and how he becomes President Snow.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard because they're both very different.
They're both different. This one is more if you're looking for something spooky,
and this one if you're like more Hunger Games lore.
Also spooky, but in a different way. This is more like real life spooky.
What would you give it to?
I think I would recommend both of them, honestly, but
I'm kind of leaning towards Hidden Pictures only because I can see myself recommending that. This one I wouldn't recommend because they would already know it. I don't know if that's a good criteria to base it off of.
I would more so recommend Hunger Games.
I love this book so much.
It is really good. I don't know. This is a hard thing to pick, but yeah. I think Hidden Pictures only because the same thing. Like, this is a really good like conversation to have.
Yes, it is. I agree.
Hidden Pictures again. Watch.
There's not that many left.
Ooh. Six Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent. I swear to God, if it's Divine Rivals.
Hidden Pictures.
Six Scorched Roses.
I mean, that Hidden Pictures does not have Vale, so
Vale.
I love that no one's gonna get it. Sounds like Dale, Mr. Worldwide.
No one gets it like we do.
Down in the, what does he say? 843? I don't know his area code.
825. 8705.
8123.
I don't know. Okay, next is going to be The Housemaid by Frida McFadden.
Versus
we've already talked about.
None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell.
Ooh, which one is the better thriller?
Oh my God.
Or suspenseful thriller, I guess?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Refresh my mind. I already forgot.
None of this is true is the birthday twins.
Okay,
so
thank you. Birthday twins versus
Millie just
versus Millie.
Millie's just trying to survive.
I kind of prefer the housemaid.
I think so too, but none of this is true is so good.
Dude, can I say something? Horror stories, you need to pick different titles. I can't remember any of you. I can't remember anything. I don't feel like titles in horror books stick to me.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna have to. That'd be a fun segment. Like, can you remember what this is about?
And trust me, I will remember.
Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross.
It's already the winner. Sunrise on the Reaping. It makes me sad. I love Haymitch. Bye.
But not. I love Haymitch, but Divine Rivals wins.
I think Divine Rivals is gonna win. I don't think there's anything that can compete with it.
The sequel.
Is Ruthless Vows in there? Oh my gosh. Okay, that'll be a conversation we have if it comes up.
The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. Dude, this one was so good. This right here is a good book if you're looking for girlhood. Women supporting women.
And loving women.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and loving women.
I love this book.
Oh, yeah, it's sapphic.
Can you explain it?
So, if I remember correctly, because it's been a minute, this one has 3 different women. One of them is like a witch.
Yeah.
The other one loses a sister, and
the third one...
loses a sister, and whoever took her sister knows the witch, or the witch knows them. So, and the third one just
accidentally
gets herself involved by tethering demons to her. So she seeks out the witch to like help her break the tether.
Can I say one of my favorite things that books like this do, like where it feels like it could be straight up horror where there's still comedy in it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There's this scene that will always stick in my mind where one of them had to pretend to date a guy and it was like, I don't know, just ask him this and the conversation will go. And she ran out of conversation, so she did that. Mm-hmm. And he just started talking to himself and she was like, oh my God, men are predictable.
Oh my God, that actually worked.
Okay, so this one is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. And this is the continuation of Divine Rivals. And I think it's interesting because you said at the beginning that it has gods in it, but it more so focuses on the humans. Mm-hmm. This one gets a little bit more into the gods. Which
the backstory I did appreciate. I did like that. I thought it was interesting. Mm-hmm.
I really, really like Roman and Iris. Mm-hmm. They're so good to each other.
Such a beautiful love story.
It's okay.
Okay. 6 Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent.
The Housemaid by Frida McFadden.
Yeah.
Go ahead and leave that over there.
6 Scorched Roses.
Fireball! Oh my God. I love it. I hope this is...
Oh my God,
we're at the end.
Oh, well, we know what the last 3 are.
I know what I got. What'd you get?
6 Scorched Roses.
Ruthless Vows. 6 Scorched Roses. 6 Scorched Roses. Wait, hold on. 6 Scorched Roses. Because the thing is, Ruthless Vows is good. But just the poeticness of 6 Scorched Roses and the amount of love that this man had for Lilith. And then hold on to that and think about specifically that scene where one character looked at the other and was like, you love me. You remember that scene? And then she jumps out the window. You loved me. And you love me.
So we might as well just... I
don't know.
The last 3 is literally Divine Rivals.
Ruthless Vows, which
is one. One series. One duology. Or 6 Scorched Roses, which is so interesting because I love that this is the 1.5. We weren't even going to read this one.
No, we weren't.
And it was so good.
Okay.
I think...
Well, to put Divine Rivals versus 6 Scorched Roses, I would say Divine Rivals. I don't know what I would say, actually. I regret it. I take it back. I don't know. What would you say?
I'm kind of leaning towards 6 Scorched Roses.
Against Divine Rivals? Or against Ruthless Vows?
Aren't they just one now at this point?
No, we gotta choose between both. Okay, put that one down for a bit. Put her back in the cup.
Okay. Okay, she's in the cup.
Divine Rivals versus Ruthless Vows. Book 1 and book 2. Book 1 is a solid start, but I feel like the amount of love that these characters have for each other in book 2.
To book 2, when I don't want to say it.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, and that's why I feel the scene where she looks and says her thing, and then walks away, like has to leave, has to escape, and he just has to sit with it.
Wait, give me that one. Okay.
Ruthless Vows versus Six Scorched Roses.
Oh, this is so hard because I love Vale and Lilith.
I love
and
a man.
Roman and Iris.
I love a man who loves his girl.
Yeah, which was both of them.
Which was both of them.
Okay, let's think about the world. What world? Okay, because we love both couples. Well, we would recommend both of these books.
Ruthless Vows, Divine Rivals, that's a duology. And the Nyaxia world, that's still ongoing.
That's still a series, yeah.
It's still a series. And I love what we're learning about the fact that these gods are so flawed. But you could say the same about Ruthless Vows.
But honestly, I feel like Six Scorched Roses, if I were to have just read that one book, I think it's a good standalone. Like, I don't need to read the other ones. Like, I'm good.
And I felt satisfied that although we were learning about Lilith's human struggle, we did know the struggle of the god.
Yeah.
We were satisfied on both ends.
Yeah.
And we weren't with Ruthless Vows, if you think about it.
If you think about it, I mean, I don't know.
I love Kit. And I love Iris, but I think you gotta let him go.
I can't believe we chose the 1.5.
That's not what I thought would have won.
Me neither. What did you think was gonna win?
I was feeling Divine Rivals.
Me too. But the thing is, Divine Rivals won our tier list. Yeah. So like, I'm okay. We've already given it all the love that it needs.
I remember reading the second book because I held on to it for such a long time. Oh my gosh. I felt reborn.
Me too. I remember reading it in the library just being like, are you all seeing this shit? Are you seeing this shit?
But Six Scorched Roses does have a hold on me that I forgot about.
Yeah. I need to read it again.
Wait, hold on.
It's too good. That was probably the hardest thing we've ever had to do. But I'm happy with the winner.
Is there something that we went through that in your heart you would have chosen for yourself?
What do you mean? Like it from these?
Yeah, that you feel like a little sad about? Mine's always going to be Angels.
I feel like Serpent and the Wings of Night was such a good duology that I almost feel bad that we don't pick. We never pick it because I feel like it's so good, and
it makes it sound like we don't like it. I love that book.
Yeah, they're both really good.
And those episodes that we filmed for it were some of my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. Because we were treating it like if it was just like a comedy, like so funny, but it was actually really sad. And I love these types of books where it's like angsty, but like it's a happy ending-ish. It's like bittersweet, but
I'm okay with what won though.
Yeah.
It's still a little bit of a Carissa shout out.
I know, we love her.
I'm so excited for the new book to come out too.
Oh my god. Me too.
We need to do an episode where it's literally just, they're called like bookish freakouts, I think that is. And it's like you talking about books that are upcoming that you're excited about. We need to do that.
Well, we have done that.
Let's do it again.
Okay. Round 2.
So many that are coming out that I'm like,
I can't wait.
That being said, if you are listening to us in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on, thank you so much. If you could leave a rating of 5 stars and a review recommending us our next read, that would be amazing.
If you're looking for an extra way to support us just a little bit more, we do have a Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/bookfix. But if you're not looking for something that's monthly, we do also have Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix, or buymeacoffee.com/thebookfix. Also, we forgot to mention that we have book clubs. This month's book club is going to be Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. You can find us under the Book Fix Pod in Fable and Goodreads.
If you are watching us, thank you so much. If you would like to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. Just like Yajaira said, we do have our book clubs, but we also have our social media. If you would like to support us on any of those and need a link to find it, we do have a link tree at linktr.ee/thebookfix. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye. I'm so curious to know, like, how many of these books people like that are listening have read, and like, who would they pick?
Yeah, if there's one that's like,
It's like,
you were wrong.
They're like, Just for the Summer was better than that.
No. 6 Scorched Roses. Go read it.
It's so good. I still remember that day.
Still remember how I felt.
Me too.
I was at doing an oil change. Remember?
Yes! Oh my god, I remember that!
Yeah, and I read the whole book, and I was like, I made
You
a
made
small friendship with like the people that were there.
That was so sweet.
Yeah, it's a good book. Go read it.
That's why I won.